Hello, my name is Joshua Mannon. I'm a learning specialist at the Palm Beach State College Student Learning Center located in Boca Raton. Today I'm going to be reviewing the management plan for the introduction and implementation of the Virtual Tutoring Lab project. The Palm Beach State College Student Learning Center in Boca Raton, otherwise known as the SLC, serves thousands of students every year and employs tutors in a variety of specialties. The SLC offers tutoring services in multiple STEM fields such as physics, chemistry, and mathematics, and provides a liberal arts tutoring in fields such as literature, composition, and English as a second language. SLC staff are constantly training to meet the growing needs of the PBSC community and work towards providing auxiliary support to students of any class offered at PBSC. Although SLC does support all these fields, this project focuses on the English and Reading Lab, which provides the following services: to provide one-on-one appointments with students to review any essays, research papers, resumes, etc., any written assignment for any class offered at PBSC. Tutors must utilize a conversational approach to all sessions that places the onus of learning on the students. The SLC advises all students that the English and Reading Lab is not there to simply edit papers. To provide English as a second language support to students taking remediation courses such as EAP 0460, EAP 0017, or EAP 1520. These reading or grammar classes require a lab component in which students must complete practices and quizzes provided by the lab. Tutors are responsible for the distribution of lab materials, grading of quizzes, and instruction of EAP students should they fail a quiz and require additional remediation. And finally, to provide on-demand seminars, one-on-one or in groups, covering a variety of grammar and punctuation errors. For example, most Palm Beach State students report often struggling with errors such as comma splices, run-on sentences, semicolon use, or coordination and subordination errors. The strategic vision for Palm Beach State College is rapidly shifting to meet the transforming needs of its students. As society is shifting to become increasingly decentralized and inherently reliant on distance-shrinking technology, the college is looking to make itself more accessible to its student base. Seeing that a large percentage of PBSC students commute a substantial distance for classes and must work in some capacity, it can be very difficult for these students to find the time and attend a tutoring session if they are struggling in their classes. Experience has shown that even though students who consistently visit the student learning centers perform better in their classes, the inconvenience of physically attending the sessions dissuades students from utilizing the services. As the campus continues to grow and offer a larger selection of fully online degrees and certifications, the tutoring lab will need to be there to support these students. It is imperative that the SLC adapts to mimic the strategic direction PBC is heading, for if it does not, it will become increasingly ineffective and irrelevant as the student body trends towards distance learning. If the SLC is to continue to expand and be an integral part of the PBSC education system, SLC management will need to demonstrate their willingness and ability to adapt to the online platform. This is especially true because the SLC is completely funded and overseen through the Student Services Department, which will expect consistent results and updates, or else the budget could possibly see a decline. So what is the Virtual Tutoring Project? The Virtual Tutoring Lab project seeks to provide the same level of service offered by the current student learning centers across all 5 campuses to students in an online space that is accessible from the comfort of their own home. For the virtual lab to meet this goal, the following tech goals must be achieved: the potential for face-to-face, or at least voice, interaction between tutor and student without considerable lag time, allowing for both tutor and student to ask questions and establish a rapport. The ability for the tutor to provide real-time written or drawn examples that can be easily seen and manipulated by the student. The task could be accomplished via tablet PC such as an iPad, and accompanying software that allows students to submit their work directly to the tutor prior to the appointment via email or AirDrop. If the student is submitting work for the tutor to comment on, the work must retain all formatting and material from the original. Both the student and tutor must see an identical image. If there is a disconnect between what the tutor is explaining and what is being shown, most of the appointment will be wasted due to confusion. The student must be able to retain copies of any written instruction or feedback provided by the tutor. At the conclusion of the appointment, the tutor would provide the student with a digital copy with all highlights and instruction via AirDrop or school email. Additionally, the SLC generates a substantial amount of paper waste by requiring students to provide physical copies of any work during appointments, which then becomes filed and shredded at the end of the year. By utilizing digital copies of all submitted materials, the SLC will substantially cut down on paper waste and can more easily and efficiently maintain files of all student submissions. So what is the overall vision for this project? As education continues to move out of the physical realm and into the virtual space, the support services offered via the Student Learning Centers will need to adapt to meet the changing needs of the modern learning environment. The project vision is as follows. The virtual tutoring platform will boost student engagement by increasing accessibility and will facilitate student growth. It will allow the SLC to support students across all campuses, including virtual campus students who live out of state, by allowing the tutors to meet the students directly online via digital media sharing and voice and video chat. When these actions are implemented successfully, Palm Beach State College and its students will flourish via increased enrollment, increased course performance, increased student retention, and reduced number of semesters required to graduate. Since the SLC already has access to several potential and software options regarding the virtual tutoring platform, the greatest challenge facing this change is one of apathy. The SLC consistently receives stellar feedback from clients and faculty participants during annual surveys, and consistently positive feedback on the daily. There's little outside pressure during the day-to-day to dramatically alter an already successful operation. SLC leadership must take a much more proactive role in pushing management and staff out of their comfort zones to look towards the future of this program. It will fall to the leadership team to find the right balance of user-friendly, non-threatening technology to not intimidate tutors while simultaneously pushing them to learn a new way of doing a job at which they already excel. Management will need to emphasize that a potential crisis via the changing student body is coming, and that the SLC is in jeopardy if staff does not react. The English and Reading Lab employs 2 full-time directors who oversee the management and development of new content and curricula used within the lab and hire new staff. While one is specifically an English specialist and the other is a reading and communication specialist, they both work in tandem consistently on all major projects. It is their responsibility to focus on the overall vision and goals for the project, while allocating many of the operational duties and management to the floor managers, the part-time learning specialists. The directors should seek to incorporate as much managerial information as they can from the learning specialists, and to consistently meet to work as a team in developing and steering project management. The 2 directors oversee 3 part-time learning specialists who manage the day-to-day functions of the English and Reading Lab, introduce and train new tutors, and aid in the development and implementation of any new material. The learning specialists would be responsible for the training of the staff regarding the virtual tutoring platform, and would work to keep things running smoothly when the lab interacts with students. Because these managers work most closely with the tutoring staff, they are most aware of the unique strengths and weaknesses of each tutor. Hence, the learning specialist will be an invaluable resource in providing the directors with the insight they need and how to best utilize, train, and motivate the tutors. The tutors would then be responsible for conducting all sessions with the students, walking through any difficulties the students encounter with the virtual tutoring platform, and recording logs of each appointment. These tutors will be on the front lines of implementing the new program and will consistently listen to and provide feedback from the students who utilize the new virtual lab. Ideally, these tutors will have open communication with the learning specialists and can speak their mind as to questions, comments, or concerns regarding the new technology. Communication will be key here, as many tutors might feel overwhelmed by the new changes, so it will be up to the learning specialists to assuage any doubts by providing constructive, motivational, and explanatory feedback when necessary. As Cotter emphasizes in leading the change, open and consistent communication needs to become a much more common practice to move things forward. Just like focusing on the thesis in an essay, when upper management advises staff on updates and procedure or practice, they need to connect the meaning behind the changes with the overall strategic vision. By keeping even new tutors in the loop about the changing vision of the center, and by emphasizing the importance of each tutor's role in the change, staff will feel more encouraged to embrace the transforming environment and feel more willing to speak up and become involved. Clear and concise goals and instructions will aid in this process. The following are a few example goals that clearly and concisely represent the project vision. We will increase the number of writing appointments by offering online options in addition to our usual offering. Or, we will eliminate waste by transitioning to digital record keeping. All student-submitted work will be filed and stored on PBSC servers. By repeatedly discussing key points and project goals during meetings, email conversations, water cooler talk, etc., staff will more thoroughly understand the importance of the new project. Even if the goals and directions are solid when they are first introduced to the staff, if there's not consistent follow-up with staff on how they are adjusting to the new changes, how they are incorporating them into their work routines, and if they have recommendations on how to better meet the project goals, the project and its relevance to the center will never rise above the idea stage. So how do we go about empowering the employees? The virtual tutoring project demands the most dramatic operational change from the tutors. Although all attempts should be made to make interfacing with the new software and hardware as user-friendly as possible, there inevitably will be a good deal of training required. Substantial care will need to be made by management in how they handle staff training and motivation when this is obviously going to be an uncomfortable experience for many of the staff. This training issue is exacerbated by the limited shift time of the tutors. All tutors are part-time employees who frequently only work 2 or 3 5-hour shifts per week. So management must keep detailed training records for each tutor, which will prevent them from losing acquired skill knowledge during days off work. I firmly believe the key to empowering employees for change, specifically in this situation, will be to show tutors the fruits of their labor. No teacher or tutor does this job for the income. They do it because they are passionate about seeing students overcome obstacles and make better lives for themselves. By constantly focusing on communicating the benefits of the virtual system, by showing the staff the ease and fun and outreach the program has, I believe they will be drawn to it and not scared away. It will be up to the management to show their passion and dedication to the project and to represent by example. If management simply tells staff to adjust to the new way of things or leave, if they are constantly focusing on the limitation of tutors and their difficulties in grasping new concepts, they will ostracize tutors, and the tutors will resent the new project and the management team. Thank you very much.